Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're now going to be looking at the second one of our mini paper pumpkin boxes. I showed you one. I said you can get them in a pack of 10 and I'll show you 10 different ways of using it. So we're going to take it right from the start and we're going to be doing it in Merry Merlot, so a very classic colour. You can do it for the holidays or you can leave it for something else, but I think Merry Merlot is just a beautiful colour. And we're using the Forever Fern suite again because I really love this suite. It is an investment, but my goodness, you can get so much out of it. So that's the one we're using today. And if you come back to me later on, so if you subscribe, if you haven't already, and all my lovely followers will know, I'm going to fill this box this time with a variety of tags. So tags for presents, tags for parcels, all different sizes, all different colours, and we're going to fill this box with it. So all the details of all the products are down below. There's always a link across to my store. So if there's anything that you like and you want to get, feel free to get it. And so the first thing we need to do with this box is to just pop out. There's 4 little lugs that literally just pop straight out. So we don't need these pieces, so we could take them out straight away. And these paper pumpkin boxes are lovely because they are smooth on one side so that you can decorate them without it slipping. On the other side, it's shiny, which means it's food safe. So if you're a bit of a baker, if you want to do some, truffles for Christmas or truffles for a present or anything like that, beautiful for putting anything food safe in. Okay, so we are going to then decorate this with the Merry Merlot. So you can decorate it with designer series paper. This time we're doing it with cardstock. So we need one piece, which is, the measurements of these are 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I've cut this at 1/8 of an inch smaller. It's easier to give you the directions that way. And I just need to, says me, before I put it all together, I just need to very carefully see exactly which way. That's going to be the bottom, that's going to be the top. So we need this piece on here, which is the top part. So we're going to glue that down on there. We then need 3 pieces, which are, again, it's the 5 3/4. And I take 1/8 of an inch off. So 5 3/4 by 1 inch, take off 1/8 of an inch. 5 3/4 by 1 inch, take off 1/8 of an inch on all sides. And then we're going to have 2 pieces to go down on the side, which are the 3 3/4 by 1 inch. Take off 1/8 of an inch all the way round to give your border. If you want to take off 1/4 of an inch, you can do. I think 1/8 of an inch works just perfectly. So that's going to be put onto there. Okay, so we can start gluing this down. I'm going to use wet glue for this. So we'll just put this, I'm going to slide this down a bit so I can see that with my lights and make sure I get it nice and straight. So, oh, I'm wondering if that one is, I think that's the one that's almost empty. I've got a tiny little bit of it left. So let's use one that's got a bit more in. Okay, so we're just going to glue this. Make sure you glue it right up to the edges. You can use tear and tape. You can use our Seal Plus, and we want this, so I'm just going to make sure that I've got it. Excuse me if my head's coming in, but I want to get this as accurate as I can on here. So that's my 1/8 of an inch on there. Then we're going to do these little strips. Now you can do them before or you can do them afterwards. The first one I showed you, I did it afterwards. This time I'm doing it before. So I don't think it really matters. However you want to do it is entirely up to you. So just making sure that that is nicely lined up. But I think sometimes doing it with cardstock rather than designer series paper just gives another look. And I say this one we are going to fill with tags. So if you come back to me this coming week, there will be a couple of projects making the tags, because obviously tags can take a little while. And again, if you don't want to make the box or you want to fill the box with something else, that's absolutely fine. And if you just want to use the tags for other type of holders to put them in, again, that will work absolutely fine as well. So it's easy when you're doing this paper pumpkin box with cardstock, because there's no direction or anything like that. So I think if you did it with the designer series paper, with it being not folded, you need to be a little bit careful of where your design is going to come. Okay, so that's all of that bit done. And now we can start putting it together. Now you need to be, when you're folding it, you just need to fold it quite carefully. Don't over fold it. If you remember the first one that I did, I over folded it and I got just a bit of a, oops, that piece needs to come in first. Okay, so we need to fold these little tags in. And again, you know, don't overly fold them. Just sort of just move them. Because as I say, it has a tendency to crack otherwise, because there's so much going on. You've got obviously this plastic piece, which, you know, will naturally want to crack a little bit. So as I say, I'm trying to bend it just quite gently rather than being over forceful. As I say, the first one I did, I burnished it with my bone folder and all of those things, and then realized that it had cracked a bit. Okay, so this needs to go in like, oops, let's make sure we've folded these bits up as well. So again, just very gently fold them. And very gently fold these ones. Okay, so we can now have, this is going to go in this way. So let's put this bit up a bit. It's difficult to show you on there. So you need these two pieces to come in. This comes in over the top of it, like this. And then that just folds down and clips into those two little lugs at the bottom. So it goes click, click, and once they're clicked in, it's in place. Then we do exactly the same with the other one. So fold these two pieces, these two tabs in, bring this piece up at the side. It is relatively straightforward. Pop this bit over the top and just click it into the two little lugs that are in there. So you can see that on there. And there you've got your box beautifully made in there. And then the top, literally, these two pieces go in. And these pieces slide in that way to close it. So they just tuck in like that to close it. So I'm going to close it once, and again, just to get the edges sort of smooth. Now you can see on this one, there is no cracking at all. And that's because I was quite gentle with it. As I say, if you are over zealous with it, you will find that you will get little cracks with it, because as I say, it's quite heavyweight to withstand, as I say, cookies, and you can put anything quite heavy in there. So, you know, you do need to be aware of that. So if you want to just bend it just a little bit more, just do it very, very gently so it doesn't crack. Okay, so we now have, I'm going to put this closed, and then we can decorate the box with it closed, because it's as easy to do it that way. And as I say, I'm going to fill this one full of tags, because I thought, you know, a nice little holder for tags is going to be beautiful. So that's our box, which looks, oh, says me, I've missed a piece, haven't I? I haven't got a piece on the back. Why haven't I got a piece on the back? Let me have a look and see. Where did I put it? Did I put it in the wrong place? So I put 1, 2, 3. I haven't got a piece on here on the back. Now, is that a piece that I just didn't put down? What size is that? That's the right size. Ah, that's why I had a piece that I didn't put on. So we need to put one piece on the back. You can see that you can put it together without and then put the pieces on afterwards. So if you're a little bit more comfortable with doing that, you can do that. So it is the same amount of pieces that I said, but this one has to go in on the back. So as I say, you can, it's as easy to do it with the box closed as it is with the box flat. So it's entirely up to you how you decide to do it. Okay, so now we've got our piece on the back. That's got me sorted. I was getting a bit worried about where that other piece had gone. So, okay, just close it up, and then we are going to decorate it. And as I said, the Forever Fern I absolutely love. I think it works perfectly any time of year. So again, there's our box, beautifully done. And what I've done is I've just taken a selection of things. I haven't decided exactly, whoops, what we're going to do. It says me dropping a little tiny piece. I've used some scraps. I've used some little pieces that that I've got. And oops, sorry, I've just whacked the camera. There we go. Right. Okay. So we're using Forever Fern, and we're using the coordinating Forever Flourishing dies. They come as a bundle. You get 10% off, and I'm using them all the time because I absolutely love them. We're going to put a little piece of Whisper White in the center. Now, I've given this an inch border because I wanted quite a lot of the Merry Merlot to come through and have this little frame. So this measures 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So it's an inch smaller. If you don't want it quite as big a border as that, you can make it smaller. So we're just going to put this on top in the center, and then we can start building everything up from there. Okay, so we'll just put this in and center it as best we can. I think that's probably about right. With my lights, it's very difficult to see, but I think that's okay. Okay, so that gives us our base. Now I've just literally cut some tiny little strips that I've got left over from the side of the brush metallics, and I thought that they might work just as doing little strips down on there. So we know that that is, we can just take our scissors. Excuse me a second, I've just put my scissors over on here. So we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut down. And these are just little, as I said, I try not to waste anything. So little tiny strips and things like that, you can use them for all sorts. So again, it's a tiny little strip which was left, which I just cut off the side. So it's not even, you know, completely exact or anything like that. I just wanted to have a little bit of something going on the back. So I'm going to just put a little bit of wet glue down on here. If you want to do it with your double-sided adhesive sheets, you can do, and I've done some of my cutouts with this, but on this particular one I just had some little odd pieces left, and they're literally just tiny to just add a little bit right on the back. So, you know, sometimes, particularly with things like metallics, it's worth saving any little piece because you can cut pieces off. So I'm just literally laying a couple down like this because it's only going to show a little bit through, and you can see where I can't even remember which one I cut it off, but for example I've cut a lot out of here, but you could, if you wanted to, cut a very, very fine sliver down there and you could use that. So, you know, any little pieces you've got left, use them. Now I've taken, and do you remember I said the other day about this lovely sort of little piece that comes up almost like a little sort of buddy thing coming through? Well, I thought I would put a couple of those in, and I'm going to lay some of this out because I want these to go in on top. In fact, I probably want that to go in and the other bits over the top, and then I'm going to build from there. So yes, I'm going to put this one in first, and I want the other pieces to come above it this time. So I have put some adhesive sheet on here, so I just need to peel that off. It's really easy to peel off, and we're going to put this one in on the center, so over the top, so you've got a couple of different metallics coming through, and they will be in the background. You know, we don't want them completely over the top. Now I'm going to put these pieces in. Oh, excuse me. Just a little bit of dust somewhere. Okay, so we can put this piece in. Let's just put one of them up in on there. It's all about sort of building texture and things. So I want the stamped pieces to go on the top, and I just want these to give little sort of accent pieces in the bottom. So as I say, these are going to go over the top, and because I've got the sticky sheets, they do adhere really well. Okay, now I need to then just have a look at little pieces that I'm going, that will work quite nicely there. That piece again will work quite nicely there. I might tuck this one in, maybe in the center there. Or I could actually take, I want to have these pieces showing, so we could put this one more over the center and that one down like that. Yeah, I think that'll probably work. Okay, so we'll have this one this side. So let's take my little sheets off. I'll put this one here. Oh, actually, I've got, says me, I've got these little tiny pieces first, and again I want them underneath, so I'm going to put these little ferny pieces, which again was one that I hadn't die cut out before, so these are two of the slightly new ones, and I'm going to put these just sort of in, just coming up from the bottom. So then I can put this one in, because that's going to come up like that. We'll put another one the other side. Oops. And this is where just planning things as you go will just give you a little bit more of an idea. So if that one goes in there, then we can have this one coming in over the top like that. And those little bits come in behind, which I think looks quite pretty. Then we're going to have, so we've got 2 more of these, so I'm just going to put one in on the other side, so we can have one sort of coming up like that from the edge, and maybe we'll have the other one right in the center. Which can come up in between these 2, I think, probably. Or maybe I should do it now. I think I should do it so that they come in together like that. Then I've still got this one as well. So I want this one to come through so you can still sort of see that underneath. And maybe I'll have that coming over the top that way. So say tuck your layers and things in as you feel just sort of works. So I think I want this one coming over in that sort of angle, so we'll take it from there just across so that it comes out on the top, and as I say, it will all stick down quite nicely. Then we were having this one in over the top like that, so let's take probably that one first and then that one in that way. Yeah, I'm going to do this one first because the outsides are easier to line up, and then you know that the middle will just balance somewhere in between. So let's take my adhesive sheet off. This is where you need little nails or you need tweezers or something to take them off sometimes, because they're not always the easiest. So this is going to come in on this corner and just cover that at that angle. So you've got that one, and then this one can come in over at that angle. Yes, that'll look beautiful. Now sometimes with the adhesive sheets, as you can see, the little pieces at the bottom here haven't quite stuck on. They will after a little bit. You just need to sort of press them down a bit. So once I've got everything in place, I will give it all another press. So this one is going to come from there up in at that angle. So you've got the different pieces poking out from underneath. So you've built up your layers from the bottom to the top on this one. And I'm not putting a sentiment or anything on this because I think the box can stand alone for anything that you want to put in it. What I am going to look at is I've got these, which I was looking at the other day, the wonderful gems, which are really quite pretty. They're little sort of epoxy resin dots, but they've got actual glitter sort of embedded inside. And I think that the gold ones, the red ones, I think are a little too bright, but I'm going to try some of the, and I'm going to use the larger ones because I think the larger ones will work quite well. So I'm just going to put, oh yes, these are quite nice. Just put a couple of those up to just add a little bit of sparkle. So we'll have one there, we'll have one in on here, and we'll have another one in, where should we have the other one? Down in the bottom here? Yeah, I think just about there will work. Okay, so that's given just an added little bit of sparkle in there. Again, if you want to put Wink of Stella or anything over the top, you can do, but I think it makes a very pretty classical looking box. And as I say, this time we are going to fill the whole thing up with a variety of different tags. So come back and see me for that. And as always, any of the products that you want to buy will be below in the description box, as many as I can remember. And if I can't remember them all, which I sometimes do, there will always be a link across to my store so you can have a look in there. So we have used today the mini paper pumpkin boxes, which come in a pack of 10. So this is number 2 of the ones that I'm making. Some wonderful gems, which are really pretty little gems to go in on there. 1 coloured ink pad, which is Merry Merlot. And then we use the Forever Fern bundle. So the Forever Fern stamp set, the Forever Flourishing dies, together as a bundle you save 10%, and it's absolutely brilliant. I love this, and you can see you can make something which is quite seasonal if you want it to be. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye-bye.